Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. Our pledge to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, our pledge to our revered speaker, His Grace SRIVAS VANACARI, and our pledge to Samud Vaishnavi devotees. Devotees, we thank you all for being here today, as always, and we are very much privileged today. We have His Grace, SRIVAS VANACARI, who will be speaking to us from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhuji, you are formally welcome, and we may put the verse on the screen and you take it over from.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So we can start.
Yes, please.
Narayana namaskritya narachaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayamudirayat nashtapraya sabhadresu nityam bhagavatam sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhakti bhavati naisiki. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna. And for today's discussion, we are treating text 30. And the verse says, Prayuktambo jarajena Mayina kamstam balakritanakam iva prayukta
Hare Krishna, devotees. We're sorry there is a technical glitch going on at Prabhuji's end. We're going to try to fix it and make it work. Continue to hang on, please. We're going to try to fix it. Hare Krishna.
like that. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bhoja, Kamsa, to kill Krishna. But in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. Purport. The atheistic Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna just after his birth. He failed to do so, but later on, he got information that Krishna was living in Vrindavan at the house of Nanda Maharaj. He therefore engaged many wizards who could perform wonderful acts and assume any form they liked. All of them appeared before child Lord in various forms. All of them appeared before the child Lord in various forms, like Aga, Baka, Putana, Shakata, Trinavarta, Denuka, Gardaba, and they tried to kill the Lord at every opportunity. But one after another, all of them were killed by the Lord as if he were only playing with dolls. Children play with toy lions, elephants, boas, which are broken. By the children in the course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy. It's just like a toy lion in the hands of a playing child. No one can excel God in any capacity, and that greater than him. Nor can anyone attain the stage of equality with God by any kind of endeavor. Jnana, yoga, and bhakti are three recognized processes of spiritual realization. The perfection of such processes can lead one to the desired goal of life and spiritual value, but that does not mean that one can attain a perfection equal to the Lord's by such endeavors. The Lord is the Lord at every stage. When he was playing just like a child on the lap of his mother Yashoda Mai, or just like a cowherd boy with his transcendental friends, he continued to remain God without the slightest diminution of his six opulences. Thus, he is always unrivaled or rivaled. Chakshuramilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yukta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunastam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Iti Namine Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Asri Tatmane Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Titri iti namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvase Sashmyavadi Pasachade Satarini Vanchakalpatarvyascha Nam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namini Gauratize Namaha Nityanando Vatutendur Vasudha Pranavalabar Janaviri Jivita Patir Krishna Prema Pradam Prabhu Padmavati Sutta Srimam Sachidananda Purvajaha Bhavam Mata Jagat Rakta Rakta Gora Kelevaraha Advaitam Harinadvaita Racharyam Bhakti Shamshanat Bhaktavataram Itam Sham Arveta Acharya Ashraye Panchatattamakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shantikam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanabaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanitraya Namaste Pankajagraye Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaritaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Shagopita Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandir Gatima Sarvasva Madam Bhujo Radha Mandana Mohano Divya Vindaraya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ranadgara Simhastanastau Srila Govinda Devo Pristhyali Visevya Manosmarami Shrimam Rasa Rasarambivam Sivata Tatastita Karsan Venuswanai Gopi Gopinata Sriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Devi Krishnamai Proktaradhika Paradevata Sarvam Lakshmi Mai Sarvam Kanti Samohini Paraha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So translation again. The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Boja, comes to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Mana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Mana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, property, it seems your connection is not stable. So
That's not.
if we may try turning off your video for a while to see if it will be better. Because if you turn the video on, we might
Let
lose
me
it.
try that.
All right, so Hare Krishna, you may go ahead and speak.
All right. I just read the translation again, that the great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Boja, Kamsa, to kill Krishna. But in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. Ukam karoti vachalam pankulagayate green. Yat Kri Patamahadvande, Shri Guru Dinantaranam, Paramanam Madhavam, Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram, Akanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptaina Characharam, Tatpadam Dashitam Yena, Tasmai, Sri Gurave Namaha. So everyone is again welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. And this verse is talking about Kamsa's plans to kill Krishna. Kamsa is an avowed enemy of Vishnu. It is described how in the previous life of Kamsa, in his previous life, Kamsa was known as Kalaneni, a very great demon. And he was always harassing the demigods and trying to attack the supreme personality of Godhead. In fact, it is mentioned that during the Samudra Lila, when the demigods and the demons were churning the ocean of milk, there was a big battle between Lord Vishnu and Kalinami. So Lord Vishnu killed Kalinami. Lord Vishnu killed Kalinami in a very violent way. And Sukracharya, the guru of the demons, using his power of Sanjivini, he brought Kalinami back to life. And Kalinami went to Mandara Mountains. He went to the Mandara Mountains to perform austerities austerities for thousands of years. Just like Hiranyakashipu, his body became covered with an anthill. Ants had eaten all his flesh, only his bones were left, and the ants covered his whole entire body with an anthill. His austerities were so severe that Brahma had to come. That you are performing such severe austerities. And Kalanemi said he wanted the strength to kill Vishnu. He's performing the austerities so that he can gain enough strength to kill Vishnu. And Brahma told him that this is impossible. Brahma told him that Vishnu cannot be killed. So if he is performing austerities in order to gain power to kill Vishnu, or he's looking for a boon to kill Vishnu, that is not possible. Then Kalanemi said, all right, give me the boon that I can never be defeated by any demigod, I cannot be defeated by anybody, nobody should defeat me. And Brahma said, okay, that one I can give you Tatash to have it. And so as soon as Kalanemi got that boon from Brahma, he entered the womb of the wife of Ugrasena. He became the son of Ugrasena. Actually, it is said that one demon raped the wife of Ugrasena, and as a result, Kamsa was born. So Kamsa is a demon, but born to a pious king like Ugrasena. So his purpose of taking birth in the family of Ugrasena was to wait for Krishna. So when Kamsa was born, because he was Kalanemi in his previous life, and he had obtained the boon that nobody can defeat him except Vishnu. Nobody can kill him except Vishnu. He decided to tour everywhere fighting everybody. He went to the greatest mountains where there were some warriors and engaged in fighting, defeating everybody. While he was defeating everybody, the elephant of Jarasandha, Jarasanda's great elephant, Kuvalayapida. Kuvalayapida is the elephant of Jarasandha. This Kuvalayapida is a very, very powerful elephant. It has a strength of 1,000 elephants. And so Jarasandha used to engage this elephant in fighting other elephants and destroying people's chariots in the battlefield. So one day, this elephant broke away. It broke loose of its chains and wandered into the area where Kamsa was fighting his opponents. And when the opponents saw this elephant coming, they know it very well. So they knew it's a very wild elephant, very dangerous elephant. So they stopped the fight and they fled in different directions. But Kamsa did not flee. He waited for the elephant. And when the elephant came, Kamsa grabbed the elephant by its talks, whirled it around, and hit it on the ground. And while the elephant was struggling to get up, Kamsa grabbed the elephant and threw the elephant 80 miles away from where he was standing back to its master, Jarasandha. So Jarasandha was surprised to see this is wild elephant that everybody is afraid of, landing from the sky, completely exhausted. So he has to trace to see what happened. And he found out that it was Kamsa who had defeated that elephant and thrown it like a stone back to his kingdom. So Jarasandha was very impressed with Kamsa. And so he decided to make friends with Kamsa. And what did he do? He married his two daughters to Kamsa, Asti and Prapti. They are the two daughters of Jarasandha. So Jarasandha, he married off his two daughters to Kamsa. And in addition to that, he gave a very handsome dowry. A dowry, historical dowry. 1 million horses, 100,000 elephants, 300,000 chariots, 10,000 maidservants, all dressed in golden bracelets, golden chains, golden anklets, which displayed the wealth of Jarasandha. Because he was marrying his two daughters to Kamsa, he gave such a wonderful dowry to Kamsa. And that cemented their relationship. Kamsa became a very good friend of Jarasandha. Jarasandha became a very close associate of Kamsa. And then Kamsa did not end there. He went on to fight all kinds of people. In fact, we hear of the story of Mustika and Chanura. Actually, they're brothers. Mustika, Chanura, Kunta, Tusala, Mahatusala, they are all sons of the king of Mahismati. And Kamsa had heard of their wrestling skills. That nobody could wrestle with these people, these 5 brothers, and defeat any of them. So Kamsa, he went there and challenged them to a fight. Challenged them to a wrestling match. And one after another, Kamsa defeated all the 5 brothers. And his rule was that before he will fight you, he will set the reward down. If you defeat him, he is ready to become your servant. And if you defeat him, if he defeats you, you become his servant. And if you defeat him, he becomes your servant. So when he defeated the 5 sons of the king of Mahismati, all of them became the servants of Kamsa. That is how Chanura, Mustika, Kunta, Tusala, and Mahatusala all became Kamsa's servants. They were brought to Mathura. Kamsa went on to fight other demons like Dhenukasura, Agasura, Bakasura. In fact, they said when Kamsa fought with Bakasura, Bakasura is the brother of Putana. Putana is sometimes described as Baki because the brother is called Baka. So Bakasura is the brother of Baki. So it said that when Kamsa defeated Bakasura and was pulling him around the ground, it was so pathetic that Putana came to the scene and challenged Kamsa. He said, Kamsa, why are you maltreating my brother like this? I'm ready to fight you. I've come to challenge you. And Kamsa told Putana, Baki, that I don't fight with women. No matter how powerful you are, I have a culture. I don't fight with women. And besides, since I've defeated your brother, Bakasura, you should know that there is no way you can defeat me. If I've defeated your senior brother, who is even more powerful than you, then how can you defeat me? But anyway, your brother has become my servant. So you can also become my servant. So that is how Putana and Bakasura became servants of Kamsa, and Kamsa brought all of them to Mathura. So his plan was to gather all these demons together so that he can use them against Krishna. He can use them to kill Krishna. It is mentioned that while Kamsa was touring and fighting and defeating and establishing his victory here and there, Kamsa came across Parasuram. When Parasuram saw Kamsa, he was very angry. He started insulting Kamsa. He said, "You wretch, you crab, you mosquito, you leech, you are a terrible person. Why have you crossed my way? I'm going to give you a test. And if you don't pass the test, I will kill you." Of course, Kamsa recognized Parasuram. So immediately he bowed down. He paid obeisance to Parasuram. You know, demons are very diplomatic. When they see that their life is in danger, they'll behave like saints. But after that, they'll go back to their demonic nature. So he bowed down before Parasuram, hoping that Parasuram would not test him. But Parasuram was determined. Parasuram said, "I'm going to test you. You see this bow I'm carrying? It is made of 7 palm nut trees. This bow belongs to Lord Vishnu. It was given to Lord Shiva during the war of Tirupura. And Lord Shiva used it to defeat everyone there. Lord Shiva personally gave it to me. I want you to string this bow. If you can string it, I will spare you. But if you cannot string it, that is the end of your life." So he handed the bow over to Kamsa. And to the surprise of Parasuram, Kamsa very easily strung the bow. And he did not only strung it, he pulled the bowstring beyond his ears and let the bowstring go back to its position with a very loud sound. And he did that several times, that even the elephants, there are some celestial elephants, they are supporting our planet Earth. The sound of that bow created by Kamsa was so disturbing that these 4 elephants, they were shaking. And it was like there's an earthquake. The sound went all the way into the Swagalok, the heavenly planet. The sound went all the way down into the hellish planet. Everyone within the universe, 7 planetary systems, they all had the sound that was created by the stringing of the bow of Kamsa. So Parasuram was so impressed. He said, "I had wanted to kill you, but you have displayed such chivalry. You have displayed such skills of a Kshatriya, so I will not kill you. I will spare you. And on top of that, I will give you this bow. I will dash you this bow. But anybody who is able to string this bow, or anybody who is going to break this bow, know that he is going to be the cause of your death. So Kamsa was happy. He took away the bow, and Parasuram went his way. He also went his way. So in this way, Kamsa gathered all the demons with different capacities of witchcraft, as it is mentioned here. It is mentioned that that the great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bhoja, Kamsa, to kill Krishna. But in the course of his pastimes, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. So Kamsa had gathered all these wizards and witches who could assume any form. They have such mystic power, so that he could engage them to kill Krishna. The Puranas mentions Sakehechari Ekado Patya Putana Nanda Gokulam Yoshitra Mayaya Mamanam Pravishat Parma Charini. Once upon a time, Putana, the Rakshashi, who could move outer space, converted herself by her mystic potency into a very beautiful woman, and thus entered Gokul, the abode of Nanda Maharaj. So Putana is just a sample of the demons. Actually, Putana was the first demon who went to attack Krishna. So Kamsa had engaged all these demons to go display their mystic potency, display their mystic powers, and kill Krishna. Now their goal was to make sure that Krishna is eliminated. So Putana was the first demon who went after Krishna's life. But what happened? He was broken into pieces. He was killed very easily. As Shukadeva Goswami said, they were just like dolls in the hands of a child. Whether they are lion dolls, whether they are elephant dolls, whatever dolls they may be, they have no effect to the child playing with them. Dolls are always dolls. So even though these powerful demons went after Krishna, but they were compared to dolls, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada writes, before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy in the hands of a child. No one can excel God in any capacity. and therefore no one can be equal to or greater than him, nor can anyone attain the stage of equality with God by any kind of endeavor. Therefore, during the naming ceremony of Krishna, Gagamuni told Nanda Maharaj, Tasman Nandadma Jo Yamte Narayana Samo Gunai Sriya Kritaya no Bhavena Gopa Yashwa Samahitaha. This your child is as good as Narayan in his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence. He's exactly like Narayan. No one is equal to him. Narayana Samaha. No one is equal to Narayan. Krishna is described as Asama Urdhva. Asama Urdhva means no one is equal to him and no one is greater than him. Krishna is Parata Parat. Parata Parat means that he is always better than the best. No one can be equal to Krishna. No one can be better than Krishna. Krishna is better than the best. In fact, in the prayers of the Prachetas, when Lord Vishnu went to visit the Prachetas, who were instructed by their father, Prachita Barisat, to go and meditate under the sea. And they, on their way, they met Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva gave them some mantras to chant in glorification of Lord Narayan. And they very nicely, very cooperatively, in the spirit of unity, they performed that austerity. They chanted the mantras glorifying Lord Narayan. They were very sweet to each other. They were very supportive to each other. They were very cooperative to each other. Lord Vishnu was very impressed. He was very happy with the sons of Prachina Barisat, the Prachetas. And so Lord Vishnu went to the spot where these 10 Prachetas were meditating, and he blessed them. So after Lord Vishnu had blessed them and asked them to ask for any benediction, the Prachetas were so happy, they were so excited that the Lord himself had come to their place of austerity to bless them. And so they started offering some very wonderful prayers to Lord Vishnu. One of those prayers is Varam Vinimahe Tapi Nata Twat Parat Parata Parat Nata Twat Parata Parat Nahi Antas Twat Vimutinam Sonanta Iti Giase. He said, Dear Lord, we shall therefore pray for your benediction, because you are the supreme. You are the supreme Lord, beyond all transcendence. You are greater than everyone. You are better than everyone. You are supreme to everyone. There is no end to your opulences. So therefore, we pray for your benedictions. So in this way, the Prachetas are glorified as Parata Para, or Asama Urdhva. Asama Urdhva. No one is equal to him. No one is better than him. He is better than the best of all living entities. That is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also mentioned, Yastu Narayana Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivata Samatwena Naiva Vicheta Sapashandi Bhavedruvam. One who equates Narayan even with the great exalted demigods like Brahma or Shiva is called a Pashandi or an agnostic, for no one is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no one can be greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is also mentioned in the Swetara Upanishads, Natasya Karyam Karanam Vidyate, Natasamas Chadya Dikas Chadrishate, Parasya Shakti Vividaiva Suryate, Swabhavaki Jana Balakriyacha. The Supreme Lord is one without a second. He has nothing to do personally, nor does he have any material senses. No one is equal to him. No one is greater than him. He has an unlimited, variegated potencies of different names which exist within him as autonomous attributes and provide him with full knowledge, powers, pastimes, and so on. So in other words, Krishna's position is indisputable. Krishna's position cannot be challenged. Krishna's position cannot be earned by any living entity. Not at all. Therefore, Gagamuni praises Krishna with this verse. Krishnaya Purna Purushaya Parat Paraya Yageshwaraya Para Karana Karanaya Radha Varaya Paripunamata Sakshat Gokula Dharma Dishanayat Nama Parashmai. Obeisance to Lord Sri Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of God. He is greater than the greatest. He is the cause of all causes. He is the lover of Radha. He is the most perfect. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead who resides in Goloka. Krishnaya Purna Purushaya Parat Paraya. Purna Purushaya, he is a complete personality. He is a supreme personality. That nobody is equal to him and nobody is superior to him. Para Karana Karanaya. He is the supreme cause of all causes. There is nothing beyond him. Radha Varaya Paripurna Tamanaya Shakshat. He is the lover of Radha and he is completely perfect in everything he does. So therefore, no one, no living entity can match up with the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. People may engage in yoga, mystic yoga. People may develop all kinds of mysticisms, mystic potencies, but they can never come up to the standard of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, Krishna mentions in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that there are two kinds of mystic powers. There are the primary mystic powers and the secondary mystic powers. The primary mystic powers take shelter in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can only find them in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the secondary mystic powers, they can be cultivated, they can be developed by any living entity who practices the mode of goodness. So the primary mystic powers, they take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and no living entity can actually develop those powers. It's only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has these 8 mystical powers. The other powers that people show or living entities develop, they are called the secondary powers. They are 10 in number, and they have a semblance of the primary mystical powers that take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one may engage in the practice of yoga, one may engage in the practice of jnana, one may even engage in the practice of bhakti, but one cannot be equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in the purport, that jnana, yoga, and bhakti are the 3 recognized processes of spiritual realization. The perfection of such processes can lead one to the desired goal of life and spiritual values. But that does not mean that one can attain a perfection equal to the Lord's by such endeavors. So by engaging in jnana, by engaging in yoga, by engaging in bhakti, not self-realization, but one cannot be equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead by practicing these yoga systems. So therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Jnana Yoga Bhakti Tina Saderina Vevashe Brahma Atma Bhagavan Trivida Prakashahe. And there are 3 kinds of spiritual processes for understanding the Supreme Person, for understanding the absolute truth. These include speculative knowledge, mystic yoga, and bhakti yoga. According to these 3 processes, the absolute Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Brahman, or Paramatma, or Bhagavan. So those who practice jnana yoga, they come to the conclusion that the Supreme Lord is Brahman. Those who practice Ashtanga yoga, they come to the conclusion that the Lord is Paramatma. And those who practice Bhakti yoga, they come to the conclusion that the Supreme Lord is Bhagavan. He is endowed with all opulences. So, but the purpose of practicing yoga is actually to come to the platform
Hare Krishna devotees. Prabhuji is still having issues with his connection, but we hope he will be able to come back. Yeah, Hare Krishna, okay, yeah. Your connection kicked you out. So we're happy to have you back.
Okay. So I mean, all that I was saying, you're not hearing me. Where did I end? How long was that?
Oh, it's been about 2-3 minutes.
2-3 minutes.
Yes.
I see. All right. So then I was quoting the verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita that says that without devotional service, all other methods for spiritual realization is weak and insignificant. Bhakti Vina, Taha service, all other activities are weak, and the result, phala, is very significant. So therefore, Shuta Goswami is saying, Savayam Pumsha Paro Dharmo, Yato Bhaktira Doksaje, Ahai Tuki Apratihata, Yayadma Suprasidati. That the supreme occupation for humanity at large, the supreme occupation for all living entities, the supreme occupation for civilized people is devotional service. And this devotional service must be unmotivated and must be uninterrupted in order to satisfy the self. And only this activity will actually satisfy the self. Any activity may seemingly satisfy us, but they will still be hungering because the soul is not connected to its original source of happiness, which is Krishna. So devotional service brings us to the platform whereby we are connected to Krishna. So anyone who wants to experience the eternal blissful nature of Krishna or Krishna consciousness, he must engage in devotional service. This is the birthright of the living entity. This is the eternal engagement, the eternal occupation of every living entity. And so this process of bhakti is actually the most auspicious path for all living entities. And that is our great fortune. Our great fortune is that somehow or the other, we are connected to this very auspicious path. And everyone should be encouraged to stick to it, despite the challenges. I was listening to one lecture, Srila Prabhupada was saying that the process of bhakti is not so easy because we are practicing it in a strange environment. The material environment is not conducive for bhakti. Practicing devotional service or spiritual life in the material environment is like swimming against the current. Everybody is going the other way, and you are going the other way. And we all know how difficult it is to swim against the current. But that is exactly what we are doing in the practice of Krishna consciousness. We're in the material world where everyone is engaged in sense gratification. We're in the material world where everyone is hungering after name, fame, adoration. We're in the material world where everybody wants to be the king, the authority, the supreme. And we are now saying, no, we want to become servants of Krishna. We want to surrender to Krishna. So we are swimming against the current, and there is a difficulty because all around us, people. So it requires a lot of courage. It requires a lot of before consciousness. So that is the benefit, the great result. It gives us the opportunity to link with Krishna. It gives us the opportunity to experience the bliss of Krishna. It gives us the opportunity to associate with Krishna. And that is not available for other practices. Those who engage in yoga, those who engage in jnana have that facility of associating with Krishna, except those who engage in bhakti yoga. So that is the special facility that bhakti gives the living entity. And so we should all be eager to render devotional service. So Prabhupada concludes this purport by saying, the Lord is the Lord at every stage. Whether he was playing just like a child on the lap of his mother Yashoda Mai, or just like a cowherd boy with his transcendental friends, he continued to remain God without the slightest diminution of his opulences. Thus, he is always unrivaled or unrivaled. So that is the position of Krishna. Whether Krishna is lying in a cradle as a baby, whether Krishna is playing with the cows as a young boy, whether Krishna
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, your audio went silent. We cannot hear you. Dear devotees, we lost revered speaker once again. So what we'll do, we hope he's able to come back. And if he's able to come back, we may have to try to see if we can just take questions and answers, because he's almost done speaking. But
He's back. He's back there.
So again, I've gone off, eh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh my God.
So if probably, like I was saying, if you can try to run it up.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll end here. So I was just saying that Krishna remains the supreme personality of Godhead, whether he's in the baby form, whether it's a boy form, whether it's a youth form, whether it's an adult form, he's the same.
Hare Krishna. Lots of technical challenges today. And Yeah. We lost him again. So.
Personality unguarded. Thank you very much. I think we'll end here. If there are any comments or questions, you're welcome.
Well, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a lot of endeavor put into speaking today because
Yeah.
your internet connection has not been quite favorable. Yet somehow you've been able to speak, and we heard like 80–85% of what you were saying, so that is good enough. Dear devotees, if anyone may questions, comments, realizations, you may want to ask or share, please, you may indicate that. And we hope this time there will be some sort of stability in Prabhuji's connection. Dr. Hassan, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please kindly accept my
Hare Krishna, Dr. Hassan. It's always nice to
all great to Dave, all great to Srila Prabhupada.
Nice to have
you. And all great to the wonderful assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you to have you once again. I'm always happy to see you because the first time I met you in Ghana, your performance and everything make my life so successful. You put me in the very high spirit. And I'm always
mercy.
To say that again. Maharaj, I have two questions.
All right.
My first question is, it is said that if you are you become a very good devotee, you are like if I'm not wrong, you are third generation are saved because of you, because of you are a good devotee. And it is also said that anyone who fights against devotees, Krishna will punish them or Krishna will not forgive them. So, if you are a devotee and somebody who is your family is fighting against you, how can that work? If you can explain that for my understanding. And my second question.
And your family are fighting you.
Yes. Please, Maharaj, can you hear me well? Yes. So my question
I'm hearing you.
Okay. So my question is, it is said that if you have become a very good devotee, some of your generations are saved because of you become a devotee. And at the same time, it is said that
if you become a pure devotee, some scriptures say 10 generations before you and 10 generations after you will all benefit from your devotional service. In some places, it says 14 generations before you, 14 generations after you. And even in some places, it mentions 100 generations before you, 100 generations after you will benefit from your devotional service. When you become a pure devotee, that is the power and the potency of pure devotional service. Yes.
Yes, okay. And at the same time, it is also said that anybody who fights against devotees is going to be punished by Krishna. So if your family member is fighting against your devotional service, how can he be saved because of that? And my second question.
Well, Krishna is very wonderful. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, if I can ask my second question. And my second question is about Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has a very wonderful family before he moved to America to come here. And Prabhupada make a very wonderful devotees, and we can all testify to that. For example, if we look at Jayapataka Swami, His Holiness His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami and Holiness Raghunath Swami, and even our dear grandfather, my dear grandfather, His Holiness Bhakti Swami. He met a very wonderful devotees. But we never hear about Srila Prabhupada, his children. What happened to Srila Prabhupada's children?
Yeah.
This is my second question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the first question, if you become a pure devotee, Krishna will deliver a number of your descendants before you and after you. That Krishna has promised.
Yes.
In fact, in a discussion with Prahlad Maharaj, it is mentioned that once you're a devotee of the Lord, generations before you were born will benefit from your devotional service. And generations after you are born will also benefit from your devotional service. An example is even Prahlad Maharaj. When Prahlad Maharaj asked Lord Nrsimhadev to deliver his father, when Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, he asked Prahlad Maharaj to ask for a benediction. And Prahlad Maharaj said he doesn't want any benediction. What he wanted was, he wanted his father, his demonic father, who was tormenting him, his demonic father, who harassed him. Prahlad Maharaj wanted him delivered from the hellish planets. And Lord Nrsimhadev told him that your father is already delivered because of your pure devotional service. And Lord Nrsimhadev told him that 100 generations before him and 100 generations after him will all benefit from his pure devotional service. So it's a fact that pure devotional service is so great. It's greater than any wealth you can think of. No matter how wealthy somebody is, maybe those generations that are yet to be born, they may benefit from the wealth, material wealth. But those who have already died and gone, how are they going to benefit? They can't benefit. They are already gone. But in the case of a pure devotee, your pure devotional service will benefit those who have already died and gone. Find themselves, your devotional service will bring on, they'll all benefit. So pure devotional service is considered wealth we can think of, because material wealth ends here in the material world, it ends with this body, but pure devotional service does not end with this body. It goes beyond this world, and it affects anybody who is related to you. So that is true. Now, if somebody is harassing you from their family, we can again refer to Prahlad Maharaj. I remember one devotee in Radha Gopinath temple in Mumbai, in Chowpatty. He asked a question to Radhanath Maharaj. He was asking a similar question, how his family members are harassing him, and so what he should do. And Radhanath Maharaj laughed in his characteristic way and said that, are your family members trying to kill you? Are your family members, are they harassing you like Hiranyakashipu harassing Prahlad? And he said, no. He said, what is the percentage of their harassment? Does any of them put you in a hot oil? Any of you put you in a snake of wells? Any of you throw you off a rift? He said, no. Then he said, then they are not harassing you. Whatever little they are doing is just to remind you that you are in a material world. Prahlad Maharaj went through hell Prahlad Maharaj was poisoned by his father. Prahlad Maharaj, he suffered in the hands of his father. But Prahlad Maharaj, as a Vaishnava, he wasn't angry with his father. He prayed for the deliverance of his father. That is the heart of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi. A Vaishnava is full of compassion because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is full of compassion. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Tam Karunanavam. Karunanavam. Krishna Chaitanya is the embodiment of compassion, embodiment of mercy. And therefore his devotees, they inherit that mercy. They inherit that compassion. So therefore, if your family members are harassing you, all that you have to do is you have to keep praying to Krishna to change their hearts, to change their minds, to help them become better devotees. And if Krishna wishes, he can change them. And the example is Prahlad. Prahlad, a 5-year-old boy, his father harassed him. He did anything and everything against this little boy. But Prahlad Maharaj was very determined. And even when he was killed by Narasingha Dev, Prahlad appealed. The only boon Prahlad asked for was, please deliver my father. So Prahlad sets a very high example for us that our family members, they may trouble us. Our family members, they may harass us. Our family members, they may disturb us. Yeah, we have come from that family. By the grace of that family, we have taken this body. This body has come from that family. So we have to pray for them. We have to think good of them so that the Lord may save them. The Lord may help them. So I would say that you just keep praying to Krishna that he can change these people who are antagonistic, who are harassing you, so that they can actually benefit from your devotional service. Of course, if the harassment is so much, the best thing is to move away from them. If they will not change and they plan to continuously harass you, I would say better you leave that environment, you move away from that environment and establish yourself somewhere else where you can practice your Krishna consciousness without such harassments, if they are not going to change. But you should not do anything against them. Krishna will not be happy for you to do anything against them, because it's from that family, it's from that kula you have taken this body. So you owe that family, the family that gives you the material body that you are able to utilize in devotional service. You owe the birth in this material world. You have debts. You have debts to your forefathers or ancestors. You have debts to the demigods because they are supplying you all the necessary things you use every day. You owe a debt to the sages because they give you scriptures. You have a debt to other lower species of life, animals and so on, because they are serving you. So we have debts we have 5 debts to pay once you take birth in this material world. And one of the debts is the family tradition, your ancestors, your great-grandparents, because they have facilitated this body. So the best thing you can do for them is to pray to Krishna to deliver them, to pray to Krishna to change their mind, to pray to Krishna to make them devotees. Of course, if they are not doing that, then better You relocate, you move away from that environment and then establish yourself somewhere else where you can practice your Krishna consciousness without much trouble. That is my answer to your questions. Is that okay, Dr. Hassan?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you. I'm so grateful because so many times I
hope
don't
you're
blame
not expecting
people.
this answer.
Yes, because in my very heart, I don't blame anybody who attack me for doing what I'm doing because I was there before.
Okay.
I was even worse. So I know that what they are, if somebody do something like that, he's doing it out of ignorance and he think he's doing the right thing. But in my heart, I always pray that he also see what I see,
Ignorance,
so that he can also experience what I experience so that he can change his mind. So I pray that. So I'm very grateful that I'm doing the right thing. So thank you so much. So my second question too, if you can answer that one too, please, Maharaj.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, what is the second question?
Sure, Prabhupada.
The second question, maybe I missed it.
Yes, my second question is
okay, Prabhupada's
about
family.
Prabhupada.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
I got it. Yes. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's children's family, one of his sons was favorable to ISKCON, but the rest not. You see, when Prabhupada left home, there was a crisis. Srila Prabhupada, he had one last obligation, material obligation. But Prabhupada left it. He did not fulfill it. You know, in the Vedic system, it's the duty of a father to make sure that his daughters are married off to suitable boys, suitable men. Is the number one duty of a father to ensure that he gives his daughter to a suitable man. It is called Kanandana or Kanyandana, giving your daughter in charity, giving your daughter in marriage. It is actually the number one duty of every father. So Srila Prabhupada's last daughter, he could not get married before he left home. So that responsibility went to some of the children. And so they felt why their father did not do that. So they kind of distanced themselves from Srila Prabhupada. So when Srila Prabhupada was to go to America, only one of the children went to see him off at the port. And so that boy, I think he had just passed away last year or 2 years ago. He had just passed away. He had remained favorable. The boy who saw Prabhupada off at the port remained favorable throughout the time he was on earth. But the rest of it, they followed the mother. You know, the mother was not inclined to the practice of bhakti. When Prabhupada would be chanting and reading, the wife wasn't interested. In fact, but it's also Krishna's arrangement. Because if the wife were favorable, probably it would be very difficult for Prabhupada to renounce and embark on the preaching mission as he did. But because the wife was not favorable and even acted against Prabhupada's interest, Prabhupada felt there was no need to remain at home. So he left home. So we can say Krishna arranged that situation to facilitate Prabhupada's detachment from home, renunciation from home, in order to establish this movement to save humanity. And the same way, even though Prabhupada did not fulfill that obligation of a father, seeing to it that his last daughter got married, but Prabhupada saved so many women. He saved so many girls. He got so many girls married, and they were happy with their marriages. And so we can imagine all the wonderful marriages in ISKCON, and all the wonderful children born in ISKCON, and all the wonderful things happening in ISKCON. If Prabhupada had remained home just because of one daughter, I was not able to give all of us this chance, it would have been sacrilegious. It would have been considered a very serious crime. But he forfeited that obligation just to save the whole world. And he created many, many daughters and got them married off. So therefore, even though from the materialistic point of view, it may seem that Prabhupada did not fulfill his last obligation of getting his daughter married, but Prabhupada actually saved the whole world because of that. He gave all of us the opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness. And so, Prabhupada cannot be blamed. We cannot say he didn't fulfill his obligation. He fulfilled it far above it. But that situation at home created some, say, bad feelings. They felt that he did not fulfill his last obligation. But nevertheless, Prabhupada, he did not say anything bad against them. In fact, Prabhupada ordered his leaders that a certain amount of money, some little percentage, like them. So from that angle, we can see that Prabhupada was favorably disposed towards his family members. He cared about them. Though one of the children actually took ISKCON to court, not the one who was favorable, one of those who was not favorable, he was trying to claim ISKCON as his property. He said, ISKCON is his father's property. So he went to court that all of ISKCON's property, he wants to claim ownership because it was started by his father. But little did he know that Prabhupada had, established a very solid legal ground that ISKCON belongs to the trustees and not to him. So when he filed a case claiming ownership of ISKCON's properties, our lawyers, they presented Prabhupada's will, and the judges threw out the case. And said, this is Prabhupada's will. Prabhupada did not say he owns ISKCON. Prabhupada says ISKCON belongs to the trustees. So in this way, the demonic son who wanted to claim ISKCON's property, he failed. But nevertheless, because they are the sons of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada pure devotional service, his purity of purpose will benefit all of them. Even his wife, who was always opposed to him and sold his manuscript for tea, she will benefit from Prabhupada's devotional service. She's already liberated. Krishna will be so happy to take all of them out of this material world because Prabhupada has delivered so many souls. So they will benefit from Srila Prabhupada's pure devotional service, for sure. Whether they became devotees, they were not devotees, they will all benefit from Srila Prabhupada's devotional service. And that is the power of bhakti.
Yes,
that
Maharaj,
okay?
thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your questions. And
So any comment? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Devotees, anyone with a question or comment, realization? Well, I just wanted to share that when it comes to pastimes of the Lord and his pure devotees,
Yeah.
even though we may find some demonic activities, but whoever has direct relationship with the Lord and his pure devotees are devotees of the Lord. So we do not have the eyes to see these people in their reality. So based on our immediate judgment, we may say this person was antagonistic, this person was that, but we may not know. They may be pure devotees of the Lord who are playing such a role to teach us lessons. So, but I have a question about the text. And if I may put it up, and I actually shared a link in the chat room where Srila Prabhupada's youngest son shared memories, very impactful memories of his father, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. It's in the link, one minute before we close. But I have this question, Prabhuji, from the text itself, which states that the great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bodha Kamsa to kill Krishna. So great wizards who are able to assume any form. Now, you were beautifully sharing the pastimes of Kamsa. Now, it is said that in some of the Puranas, that Ugrasena is actually not the father of Kamsa. But
yes,
Ugrasena is considered to be the father of Kamsa because there was a Gandharva who disguised himself as Ugrasena and came, it's like one of the very beginnings of rape. This Gandharva, called Dramila, disguised himself in the form of Ugrasena and then came and had an affair with Ugrasena's wife, Padmavati. And from that contact, Kamsa was born. And therefore, Padmavati hated Kamsa so much because she knew that that was not her son. Now, my question from this pastime is, we are told that the people on earth, compared to those in the heavenly planets, we are like caricatures. So what attracted Dramila, such a wonderful Gandharva, to get so attracted to Padmavati? Of course, we hear that Padmavati was a very beautiful lady, to come and have an affair with her. And two, how do we accept some of these things as not being a myth, because some of the stories we hear appear to be like mythological, even though to us as devotees, we accept them. But how do we tell these encounters to those who are non-devotees for them to believe that, yes, it is possible? Because if we are saying that those in the heavenly planets are far, far, far beautiful than those of us on earth, then why would Dramila come and then have an affair with Padmavati? There are lots of questions surrounding that. So this is my first question,
Yes.
and I'll end here.
Okay. Yeah, I think what we should remember is that, you see, for the Lord's pastimes to take place, many wonderful things and sometimes unbelievable things take place. This whole scene, Mahabharat, all these arrangements for the appearance of personalities like Kamsa, they were necessary. They were necessary in order to create the stage for Krishna's appearance. In fact, some acharyas, they say that even these demons that Krishna killed, they were arranged by the Lord himself to be in those places to enhance the pastimes of the Lord. Because ordinary demons are not killed by Krishna. Only very special demons, they are able to interact with the Lord. So therefore, all those demons that came in touch with Krishna or Balaram and they were killed means that there is some arrangement. So all that I'm trying to say is that even Kamsa's birth was arranged. And therefore, since that Drumila had to play that role of making sure that this Kalanemi, who had attained a boon from Brahma, he took birth in the right place in order to enhance Krishna's pastimes. And just see, because of Kamsa's presence, so many wonderful things happen. When Kamsa sent all these demons to Vrindavan, what happened? It increased. Krishna killed these demons, and this killing increased the affection of the residents of Vrindavan for Krishna. They were discussing Krishna's activities daily. Every day, the cowherd boys would bring some news, how Krishna killed one demon or the other. And this heightened the discussion. This heightened Krishna Katha in Braj. So we can see that these demons that came forward, that were sent by Kamsa to attack Krishna, they were all part of the Lord's entourage. They were all arranged to spice up the Leelas of Krishna. So whatever took place, whatever is part of the Lord's pastimes, we can say they were arranged. And so there is nothing impossible for the Lord to achieve. There is nothing impossible for Krishna to arrange if he wants it. If he wants it to happen, there is nothing impossible for him. So whatever situation happens, so long as they are connected to Krishna's pastime, they are connected to Krishna's activities, then we must understand that it's part of the arrangement to facilitate the Lord's activities on earth. If cancer were not born, how are we going to have all these pastimes with the demons in Vrindavan? If cancer were not born, how are we going to enjoy this Putana Lila, Agasura Lila, Vyomasura Lila, Trinavarta Lila, Bakasura Lila, Dhenukasura Lila, Keshi Lila, all these Leelas that took place in Vrindavan? They were important. And so Kamsa played a very crucial role in spicing up Krishna's pastimes. Krishna had to live in Vrindavan for a number of years, 11 and 8 months or so. And after that, he had to go to Mathura on the invitation of Kamsa. Probably Krishna wouldn't have left Vrindavan if Kamsa had not invited him. But Krishna had to go to Mathura, and Krishna had to protect the Yadus. And as a result, he had to create Dwaraka city in the sea, the middle of the sea, and all that. Because Jarasandha was attacking the city of Mathura. When Kamsa was killed, because it's Jarasandha's son-in-law, Jarasandha wanted to retaliate. So he attacked Mathura city 18 times. So all of these things, we can say they were pre-arranged to facilitate the Lord's pastimes on earth.
Well, oh, thank you for the answer. Beautiful answer, I should say. But in line with the same pastime, Marichi is Lord Brahma's son, right?
Yeah.
And Marichi was married to his wife, Ona, and they had 6 children. This is like the story how Kamsa pastime came about. Now, in that story, it is said that the 6 children of Marichi, they questioned their grandfather, Lord Brahma, and actually they made fun of him.
They made fun of him, yes.
That he's married his own daughter, because Lord Brahma's wife is his own daughter. So Lord Brahma became angry and cursed them. Now, what do we learn from a behavior like that? We come from Brahma Sampradaya. Incest is something everybody, every sane individual will frown on it. And here we are seeing our leader married his own daughter. So if we are speaking, I mean, we have our books, we're distributing our books profusely. people read this and they ask, why would such a great personality do something like that? What is our answer?
Well, for me, my understanding is that Brahma's daughter is Vak. The Srimad Bhagavatam mentions the name Vak. That when Vak was created from Brahma's body, she was so beautiful that Brahma ran after Vak. He was attracted sexually. And so some people laughed at him, but Lord Shiva was angry with him, and so many other things happened. But eventually, Brahma gave up that body, that lusty body. He gave up the mentality according to Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. When he said Brahma gives up the body, it means that he gives up the mentality that was hunting him. So Vak, to my understanding, is not Brahma's wife. They say Brahma has two wives. One is Saraswati, and one is Gayatri. Gayatri was created by the Brahmanas, and Saraswati, some people say Saraswati sprang up naturally from she's the mother of learning, she's the mother of the Vedas. She was created simultaneously with Brahma. Some people say so. Some say she's an expansion. There is also another Saraswati who is in the spiritual world. So they say that it's an incarnation of that Saraswati in the spiritual world that manifested to become Brahma's wife. Of course, we know that all women are coming all the way down from Srimati Radharani. Radharani is called Mula Prakriti. Mula Prakriti means the original energy of the Lord, which is in the form of a female, is actually the expansion of the Lord. It's Ladini Shakti expansion in the form of a female. And from Radharani comes the gopis. From the gopis come the Lakshmis. From the Lakshmis come the Devis. From the Devis come ordinary women. So the expansions comes down like that. And as it comes down, the potency decreases is Brahma's daughter. Brahma is married to Saraswati and Gayatri, but Vak is not married to Brahma, to my understanding. But nevertheless, it is said that running after his own daughter, that means incest. He wanted to have affairs with his own daughter, which is abominable. So even in there, it is said, some Puranas say, no, Shiva picked up his trident and wanted to kill Brahma for that act. So Brahma has to take shelter elsewhere. Brahma had to run for his life and take shelter elsewhere, and then eventually gave up that mentality, gave up that body. So the lesson here is lust is so powerful. Prabhupada mentioned that lust is so powerful in this material world that even a great personality like Brahma could not resist lust. A great personality like Brahma became a victim of lust. So we have to be very careful. We have to see that if such an exalted personality like Brahma was attracted to his own daughter, that is the power of sex, the power of lust, then what is our position? We have to be extra careful. If such exalted, great personalities who can control their senses, who
Well, I think I would say we are fortunate enough to have received what we have received today, because Prabhuji's internet connection has not been very favorable at all today. But somehow we've been able to benefit and enjoy so much from his love and sharing today. So I don't know if anyone has something to say or share before we bring this Sangha to a close today. Because we might not be able to have Prabhuji come back. His internet.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, my internet is very bad.
Yeah. So I was saying in your absence that we probably may want to try to round it up. We are very fortunate that we were even able to get this much from you.
Yeah. Today's a bad day.
Yes. We can't thank you enough.
Hare Krishna.
Sometimes these demons do not want us to enjoy Krishna.
I see Govinda covering his head. What happened? Govinda Prabhu.
Govinda Prabhu, do you have something to share?
Today we can ask questions. The internet is too bad. You have something to share, Govinda
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very
Hare
much
Krishna.
for your delivery. As always, we are always happy to see you, our proud God brother. And we pray that Gurudev
I'm so happy to
Krishna
see you.
and the whole Parapara will continue to bless you, so you can bless us and take all
Hare
of us
Krishna.
back home, back to
Bless
God,
all of
which
us.
I think you
All
are
of
definitely
us.
going to do that. Please pray for us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev has already put us in the basket. He's taking us away. Gurudev got all of us in one basket, his family, and he's taking us home.
See, I was rubbing my eyes and rubbing my forehead, because I was just thinking that if Lord Brahma is also a conditioned soul, and so
Yes.
it's labeled as a conditioned soul. It's not a pure devotee. So if it's a conditioned soul, then why are we so worried about he performing activity that are unfair, that all the conditioned souls are performing the same thing? So why are we so worried if he's a conditioned soul?
That's right. Your question is right. It's also like us. Of course, he's in a higher platform than us, but he's also a conditioned soul. He's affected by the modes of nature. So we shouldn't be surprised at all. That's true. We shouldn't be surprised. Even Lord Shiva is not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, Shiva's case is a bit different. Mohini Murti is Krishna himself. When Lord Shiva wanted to experience the beauty of Mohini Murti, he lost control. So we shouldn't be surprised. The power of Maya is very strong, very strong.
Well, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My understanding is that the scriptures talk about personalities like Lord Brahma, and oftentimes they are all kind of jumbled up together. It is not always that Lord Brahma is conditioned. Because
he's both sides there. Yes, that's true.
Sometimes, in fact, it is said that this current Brahma is Lord Vishnu himself. Now, we say somebody is conditioned because of his actions. So I'm an ordinary soul, but based on my actions, I may be termed conditioned or not conditioned. So if I performed conditional acts, then everybody has the right to talk about it, because I have the opportunity to either act as conditioned or unconditioned. So if Lord Brahma, the overall creator, is conditioned, it's worth talking about, because it's not like as long as you are in this material world, you are conditioned. I mean, like we are talking about somebody like Srila Prabhupada. He wasn't conditioned, even though he was in this material world. So Lord Brahma chasing after his own daughter back and marrying to his own daughter Saraswati is questionable for such a great personality. Well, that is my 2 cents. Hare Krishna. But thank you all for sharing. Kusha Prabhu, do you have something to share? Shriman Varacharya, Madhavan, Bahulashwa, Harichakra, who else? Sunita, Luca, anyone?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Maharaj.
Madhavan Prabhu. Madhavan Prabhu,
Okay,
your name is included in this pastime of this. So it's good
Thank
to
you
see
very
you.
much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here today, and it's also my pleasure to see Maharaj giving us the lecture. I've so much benefited so much from the lecture. When we're talking about Lord Brahma, first of all, I will not want to talk because it's a superior, and I think that thing happened before he had the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then the situation in the heavenly planets, they are more of a disadvantage to practice bhakti, because the situation there is too materialistic, it's too opulent, and as such, one can easily commit offense because of the situation. But the scripture says that we are better off in this planet, because the opulence is average, not too much. So and then also the position of the Brahma is a position which is occupied by qualified personalities, and sometimes, like Sade Prabhu explained, sometimes Lord Vishnu will take that position if there is nobody that is qualified to occupy such a position. That's my only little take about the discussion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madhavan Prabhu, for sharing. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we talk about these things, but we talk about them with caution, because Lord Brahma is not an ordinary soul. So his actions, oftentimes, if not all the time, have a deeper purpose and significance. Kusha Prabhu, please. Yes, go ahead. Kusha Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Haribo.
Maharaj is still here, right?
Let me see.
He's out.
Yeah, he's here. SRIVAS Prabhuji is here.
Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances. My question is on the pastime of the demons in the pastime
Hare
of Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu. My question is on the demons, the role they play in Krishna's Leela that we learn from their pastimes. If a devotee takes the footstep of a demon, can a devotee take the footstep of a demon to please devotees? Yeah, that's my question. Because the demons are doing service with Krishna. So can a devotee also take the form of a demon, the role of a demon, to do the same service?
His grace SRIVAS Prabhu, I hope you got the question.
His network is not too good.
Yeah, the network is not helping. Oh, Krishna.
I think that's a very good question for Prabhu. That's
Oh, yes, very. Yeah, it's a thunderbolt question. But I am not sure if.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. I think we may have to bring this to a close. Hare Krishna, Mother Ashoda, yes.
Yes, and I was also saying that today is Prabhu Govinda's birthday. So if devotees can give him blessings to strengthen his Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Jai. All glories to His Grace Govinda Prabhu Ki Jai.
Govinda Prabhu is a Mahajan. It's a pure devotee of the Lord. Anybody who offend him will not go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, after we finish the class, we can sing happy birthday for him.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, dear devotees, we are going to do something unusual in the sense that we're going to humbly request you all, because it seems His great VANACARI may not be able to answer this wonderful question. He is here, but it seems he cannot hear us.
No. Okay, yeah, he's here.
Yeah, he's here, but he cannot hear what.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. My internet is too poor.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, so did you hear Kusha Prabhu's question?
Yes, I heard him.
Okay. Then you may go ahead and try to answer for us.
Whether devotees, you can take a position of a demon.
Yes.
To harass devotees.
Yeah, we are all interested in the answer.
As part of devotional service.
No. I said no.
Okay.
He's out again. Leave it, sir. They've closed the class.
So if Krishna appoints you as a demon and you want to become a demon and harass devotees, Krishna will smash you. All the demons are appointed. So don't become a demon.
Well, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
None of us should try to become demons to harass devotees. Okay. So, dear devotees, we request you all to kindly unmute.
The consequences are too severe.
Yes. We humbly requested you all to unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, His Gracious VANACARI, and all the Sarva Vaishnavi devotees. Jai. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare